Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and we are on site today in sunny, beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Holiday Inn Pavilion. Now, in this video, I'm going to take you inside of a beautiful oceanfront condo that you do not want to miss. Next, we're also going to hop into a profit and loss statement on these one-bedroom, one-bathroom oceanfront condos. We're going to break down your gross rental income, your operating expenses, and your profit and or loss. We'll also dive into appreciation. If you buy and sell just right, if you time your buy and you buy the low and sell it high, how much money in appreciation can you make over a 10-year hold? We'll also dive into your depreciation, just how much you can write off on your taxes, cost segregation studies, and interest write-offs. Now, we'll also dive into gross rental income numbers on other top performing units here, so you can see what the lay of the land is and what other Airbnb short-term vacation rental investors are making on their one bedrooms right here at the Holiday Inn Pavilion. Now, I'm also going to take you real quick into the local attractions that draw all your guests to rent these oceanfront condos. As you can see, I don't know if you can, but just over here, the Skywheel is right here, guys, just across the street. You see all kinds of super cool stuff, great draws that bring guests year over year over year, 20 to 22 million guests. Broadway at the beach, Barefoot Landing, Top Golf, over 90 golf courses, you name it. I'm going to take you through those local attractions that bring your guests back year after year after year. Now, I want you to also check out the must-see investors playlist on the channel. I interviewed Gosha Cook. She's an accountant by trade. She owns 24 properties, and 15 of them are Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. She spills the beans with a very conservative approach to investing, buying her properties cash-free, or excuse me, with only cash. Now, in addition, I also interviewed Matt Freeze. He owns 11 oceanfront condos. He is a lender by trade. He is he will take on risk a whole lot faster than Gosha will. He made $1.4 million in profit on 8 oceanfront condos over an 8-year period. Yes, he drops all the secrets and the trades and the tricks that you need to know to be a savvy oceanfront condo investor. Now, I also interviewed Rufia Nigro. She owns over $10 million worth of Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. That's 27 units, but she lives in Florida. Now, why in the world would she own 27 oceanfront condos in our market and none in Florida? That's a good question, and you need to watch the investor playlist to find the answer. Now, I want you to make a savvy investment decision. I don't want you to make the pitfalls and the mistakes that many amateur investors make in our market. I don't want you all fouled up and all messed up because you made a poor choice. I want you to win, and I want you to win big. I want you to hit the jackpot, especially on your first investment, because if you get this one right, it's going to spill over and create a momentum into all the other investment properties that you can buy. So watch the video through to the end, because I've chocked it full with all of the information that you need to make a savvy investment decision. Now, guys, hit the like button for me. Hit the subscribe button for me, please. It helps me out a lot. It only takes you a second. And drop me comments. I'll be sure to answer any of the questions I get from you guys. I'll do my best to answer them myself, and it helps me create great content for you guys. Well, I don't want to hold us up. Let's get into the Holiday Inn Pavilion right here in sunny, beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You'd like to invest in an oceanfront condo at a beach resort. I'd like to show you how they make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how to choose the right property manager for your goals. I'd also like to let you know what your HOA includes, how the location best services the tourist booking your unit, how your tourist can navigate the area to the best attractions, restaurants, and local events. I'd like to give you a market report on the resort that you're checking out today so that you make savvy investment decisions. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the units that have appreciated the most in our market or generated the most gross rental income. So no matter if you're a first-time investor, a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or simply a casual investor who wants to buy an oceanfront condo to rent out while you're not using it for vacation, Whether you've got 15% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's an oceanfront condo you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching this video to the end. All right, guys, we are on site right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Holiday Inn Pavilion. It's straight ahead and just in front of you. Now, to the left, this is the Riptides. This is a restaurant with a rooftop set up top. You can go sit outside and eat. It is phenomenal. It is pretty hot when the sun is blazing, I will tell you. The next building, it's peaked right in between those two buildings, the one that's mirror-like and the Riptides. That's the Yachtsman. You can see it there. And then that shiny glass building, that's Ocean Green. That's a hotel. Now, to our right, yes, we have none other than the Skywheel. This is a phenomenal section of town. The Skywheel is perhaps what Myrtle Beach is probably most known for in pictures, and the Pavilion, the promenade, the boardwalk is right here on this Skywheel. So it is an excellent, excellent location with plenty of strong tourist attracting draws. So let's get into the Holiday Inn. Trying to get past all these cars, guys. Give me a second. Let me find if somebody can stop for me. There we go. Now, April through September is your peak season in our market. That's when you're going to make 70 to 80% of all of your rental income. Now, June, July, and August is the peak of the peak. Guys, that's where you're going to make, if you do it right, enough money to pay all of your operating expenses for the entire year in just those 3 months. Now, guys, that little section right over there, that is part of the Holiday Inn, just so that you know. Now, you come in, guys. Obviously, there's some parking right up front. Your lobby is technically upstairs, up these stairs. Your elevator, your pool, the beach bar, and all the fun is through those doors. I'm going to carry you really quick up to the lobby, to the registration office, so you can see it real quick. All right, and here is the registration office. Pretty cool little setup here, guys, as you can see. Elevators are in this corner just here. Look at that little nifty little Starbucks setup. All kinds of snacks. Great stuff for your guest. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. Let's get in Unit 810. All right, as soon as you walk in, you will notice two nice full-size beds right in the front room. You got your AC unit there, wall unit. You do have flat screen TV, lamp, mirror, some decor on the wall. Of course, you got a pretty large size closet for oceanfront. That is a pretty good size closet. Refrigerator, stove, microwave, sink. We do have granite countertops, tile floors. Pretty nice little touch right there, guys. As you can see, vanity, tub shower combo. And of course, your living room. You do have a little swag light with a dining room table. You do have a Murphy bed here to the left. Yes, this just pulls right down. That's a bed. Absolutely. Flat screen TV and your money maker. Guys, this is your money maker. Sand and ocean. You're right here at the Skywheel, as you can see. You got amenities down below you. And of course, Pier 14, which is a huge draw. It's a cool little restaurant right here. This is a win right here, as you can see. Now, decent sized balcony. That pretty much wraps it up for this unit right here at the Holiday Inn Pavilion. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now let's get back downstairs and check out all those super cool amenities. It's okay. All right. Elevator, as you can see, on both sides. All right, we are under the covered area. As you can see, guys, really cool pool. You do have a hot tub in this corner that I want you to see. Looks like they're having a blast in the hot tub. And of course, we've got some outdoor areas, which we're going to get to in just a minute. I want you to see this lazy river just here, and then we'll head outside. See if I can get through this door. There we go. And then you got your outdoor section, guys. Lots of fun happening. They've got a tropical paradise bar, as you can see. There's a really nice little area to lay out. We're going to get to in a minute. A little kiddie pool area, 1 foot deep. Can I get through this gate? Come on, there we go. And a very cool tiki bar. They got a little layout area here, as you can see. Plenty of space to lay out. This is going to carry you to your beach access. Just right over there. Can't really see it too well. And then, of course, we have more beach access this way, right next to the tropical paradise. All right, this is what's so cool. There's Pier 14, which is a really, really cool restaurant we'll get to in just a minute. This way is the boardwalk. And of course, you can go to the beach anytime you want to go to the beach. There's the beach access I was telling you about. that we couldn't see from the other side.
Can we be in your video?
Go for it.
Hey!
All right, guys. Really cool people from all over the world come to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because it is the investment. It is the value investment. It is the value buy. 20 to 22 million tourists visit our market each and every year. It is centrally located on the East Coast, as you can see. So you don't got to travel as far as going to Florida. So a lot of people like it for that reason. 60% of North America can reach it within a 1 day's drive. This is the place to be. We're not as expensive as Florida is. For $150,000 less, you get the same sand and ocean, and our condos make the same money as their condos. Except for our condos are profitable. They don't have the super high insurance cost. Nothing against Florida. Florida's great. I'm a dollars and cents guy. It's got to make sense. That's the landmark bar and grill, just right there, right under the skywheel. But basically, guys, we are at the promenade. This is where everybody comes to walk, and they do live concerts, and it's just where all the arcades are and the shops and you name it. There's shops across the street. This is where your concerts are. If you can see that real quick. See that? That's where your little concerts are. It's pretty cool. I'm going to keep going. I'll let you see some more of this stuff. Of course, there are shops across the street too. Oceanwear gift shop. Mo, they've got arcade over here. They've got ice cream. I mean, you name it. It's great. It's great for beachside vacations. And it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than other destinations. And that's why we have so many people coming here. They get a really good value. And they come back year after year after year. That's what you're going to see. Is repeat business. And that's what you want for your rental. A repeat year-over-year book of business. There's Mo Moons. There's people having fun. You have the Gay Dolphin Gift Cove. This place appeals to mainstream America. So you have tenants, have guests coming back year after year after year because they're getting a great value for their money. Here's the arcade family entertainment. And this just goes on and on, guys. I'm not going to belabor it, but you can tell it's a really cool setup right here. Let's get over and check out Pier 14. Let's talk about value. A quick lesson on value. Business is all about creating value. If you're creating value for people, they're going to come back year after year after year. If your guest experience is superior to the others on the market, they won't have any reason to go anywhere. Are you creating convenience for them? Are you creating value for them? Have you dug into the nuts and bolts? Are you putting a telescope on the balcony so that way they can gaze at the stars and drink wine? Or father and son can have a moment on the balcony looking at the stars while they're on vacation? Or father and daughter. However, are you making a coffee station and a breakfast nook? And did you get gift cards and surprise them with free dinner for two? There's all kinds of ways to create value and to make it memorable so that people keep coming back for more. And that's what you want. You want repeat guests year over year over year, so that way you hit 85% occupancy. Once you hit that 85% occupancy, you can start charging a premium for your unit. Yes, you can raise your prices because it's in high demand. And the units that make the most money and take the lion's share of the rentals are the ones that are remodeled. There's no way around it. You have to have a gorgeous remodeled unit. Additionally, I encourage investors to look for opportunity in the market. I encourage them to go into a resort, find a resort that has one outlier, one or two, that are making bank. And then the resort also has to have bad online reviews. Yes, Because if there are bad reviews, people are not having a good experience. But if people are spending tons of money for 1 or 2 units, that means that there's opportunity there. The market's telling you, we like this product, but they're leaving bad reviews because they're going, we're not getting what we need. We want to be here, but nobody's meeting our need. So you got to find those resorts and find the hidden opportunity in the market. Now, let's get over to Pier 14. All right. Just take a look at all those. Look at that. Those are all people renting oceanfront condos and hotels in our market. All right, guys, Pier 14, don't want to miss it. Now, as soon as you come inside, the restaurant's straight ahead. To the left, we do have the gift shop, as you can see. Plenty of Myrtle Beach memorabilia. Everything that you need for your trip right in here. Now let's get into the restaurant. Now, guys, as soon as you walk in, you got a little bench waiting area. You have restrooms on to your left. Hi. You have a bar to the right, and then you have a seated dining area to the left. There's your bar. Absolutely stunning. Any kind of drink you want in this hot weather. Gorgeous restaurant with plenty of food to eat. You got to try the crab boil. It is phenomenal from what I hear. And, of course, you can get right out on the pier, which is not bad. Outdoor seating. Eat outside. Look at all this oceanfront condo demand. That is awesome. These people are renting. Yes, they're renting oceanfront condos in our market. And of course, you can come right out to the pier and go fishing after you have an excellent meal. You really can't beat it. It's a phenomenal setup. Yes, I'm walking you all the way down the pier, guys. If you haven't watched the investor interviews on the channel, you have to watch them. They are chocked full of the lessons and the questions that you need to get answered to be a savvy oceanfront condo investor. I've had lots of people thank me for that content. Even people tell me it's life-changing. Let's see what these fishermen are catching. Well, I don't see anything yet. All right, guys, look at that. Look at that oceanfront right there, man. That's what Myrtle Beach is all about. Family, friends, fishing, having a good time, enjoying the outdoors, being on the beach with the people that you love and care about. And look at that coastline, chocked full of oceanfront opportunity. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Don't miss your opportunity, guys. It comes knocking, and Myrtle Beach is one of those places. Oceanfront Condos is one of those places in life where you can win really big if you know what you're doing. Tax breaks, annual profits, appreciation. I mean, there's so many ways to win with oceanfront condos. Got another little setup outside here. As you can see, we're going to come in this way now. Let's see if I can. Can I? Nope, can't come in that way. Again, do not miss Pier 14. This pier and restaurant is a phenomenal on-site amenity that lots of your investors are going to enjoy. Now, really quick, I want to show you this when we get right out here. That's the Riptide's rooftop bar. Right up there, as you can see. Now, on-site versus off-site property management, very simply, guys, you always want to self-manage. You do not want to hand your profits over to a property management company. Plus, if you're serious about building a robust portfolio, well, guys, guess what? you taking the helm and doing this the first year or two is going to provide you with the experience that you need in order to better understand your investment and your money. So that way, when you do hand it off to a property manager, you'll know what to look for if they're doing a good job or not. Additionally, no one's going to manage your property like you are. And I will tell you, if you're thinking to yourself that you don't have time because you have a full-time job and you can't handle anything else, then you're wrong. You need to get focused. You need to get self-disciplined. You need to get serious with yourself about your future and your retirement. Now, here's the deal. Matt Freeze owned 11 oceanfront condos, and he owns a mortgage brokerage. He's got a full-time day job and manages his oceanfront condos from his phone and his laptop. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos, 2 commercial properties, and a long-term rental. Manages them. She leverages technology. She also owns a property management company and has 110 doors that she's responsible for. The point is that, very simply, lots of people are managing this type of rental right from their phone. They're syncing their calendar with their cleaning lady's calendar. And, she's going and cleaning that unit. They're handling guests through automated text messages and emails right there on the platform. It is not rocket science. You can completely run this from your phone and your laptop. And you can be out of state. Matt Freeze is out of state. There are plenty of out-of-state investors that buy these condos and manage them all the time. Do I run into a lot of husband-wife couples that do this? Absolutely. If that's you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. So, do you think the Myrtle Beach market is oversaturated with vacation rentals?
It's not oversaturated. The saturation has always been here. They can only build up. All right. There's not more beach. They've always been short-term rentals for the last, how many years?
Years and years and years and years and years. And I'm super glad that you said, it's not saturated because they've always been here. Basically, this is not something new. This might be new to you as a viewer or new to you as an investor, but in our market, people have been doing short-term oceanfront rentals for years.
What's new is being able to cut out the middleman. You can cut out the front desk. You don't have to use on-site property management. You can use Airbnb, use VRBO, and you can manage it yourself.
Yeah, technology's really enabled you to cut out that middleman. So, I recently heard somebody talking about, the Airbnb market is on the downturn. Doom and gloom. Well, guys, I don't foresee people not liking the beach anymore. It's like the mountains. People like the mountains. People like the beach. That's that's not going to change. And as long as the ocean's still here and the oceanfront condos are still here, people are going to keep renting these just like they've done for years and years and years. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it's, with the historical evidence that we have backing it up, in my opinion, it's a very safe investment for a proactive investor.
Right.
Yeah. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, your HOA fee right here at the Holiday Inn Pavilion is going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, primary antenna cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, internet access, and pest control. Now, let's talk about insurance. The HOA fee is going to cover the exterior building insurance. If there's a hurricane, if there's flooding, if you have issues with the exterior part of the building, it is covered through your HOA fee that you pay monthly. You are going to get what's called an HO6 policy. That's going to cover interior stud to stud. If a guest breaks some of your furnitures, if there's an issue interior, your HO6 insurance is going to cover that. I had some clients one year, I was selling their condo for them. They collected over $5,900 in HO6 insurance funds. They counted it as revenue towards their gross rental income due to incidentals that were filed throughout the year managing and operating that short-term vacation rental property. So you want to be sure that you get an HO6 policy that does include lost gross rental income in case, for example, your building, during those winter months might do construction, they close down your floor, you can't rent your unit, and you could file your HO6 policy and collect that lost gross rental income. Now, if you want an insurance agency that can write that kind of policy for you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Here are the attractions that create the strongest draw for your guests. Now, Barefoot Landing in North Myrtle Beach is a vibrant waterfront destination that seamlessly blends shopping, dining, and entertainment. Now, set along the Intercoastal Waterway, this expansive complex features over 100 specialty shops and boutiques, offering everything from fashion and accessories to unique gifts and coastal treasures. Culinary enthusiasts can indulge in a diverse array of restaurants, including the upscale Greg Norman Australian Grill, the lively Lulu's Beach Arcade and Ropes Course, and the family-friendly Crooked Hammock Brewery, known for its craft beers and relaxed atmosphere. Entertainment options abound with venues like the Alabama Theater, showcasing musical performances, and the House of Blues, hosting concerts and events. Now, families can explore attractions like Alligator Adventure, one of the largest reptile facilities in the world, or enjoy seasonal events like Summerfest and holiday fireworks. Whether you're seeking a leisurely stroll, a shopping spree, or an evening of live entertainment, Barefoot Landing offers a memorable experience for visitors of all ages. Broadway at the beach. It's another excellent tourist attraction. It's only 5 minutes away. Guys, it is 350 acres of fun. Let me tell you, fireworks shows and boat rides and Wonderworks and, Wahlburgers and Dave & Buster's, and there's just so much to do. You don't want to miss it. They got a new area out there where the Hangout is, another great little restaurant. They've got golf you can play. I mean, like little putt-putt golf. It's a lot of fun. Now, the Greg Rouse Legacy Theater is a premier entertainment venue that offers a unique and intimate live performance experience. Founded by acclaimed entertainer Greg Rouse, the theater showcases a variety of shows, including the popular Music and Memories series, which features a world-class cast and band performing beloved songs from past decades. Each performance is 100% live and changes nightly, ensuring a fresh experience for returning guests. The theater has been recognized as WMBF's Best Show of the Grand Strand in 2024, highlighting its commitment to quality entertainment. With a seating capacity of 800, the venue provides an intimate setting that fosters a sense of community and connection between performers and the audience. In addition to its diverse musical offerings, the theater honors military personnel and first responders with special discounts, and during the summer offers promotions such as 2 free child tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket. The Greg Rouse Legacy Theater stands as a testament to Rouse's dedication to creating memorable, family-friendly entertainment that resonates with audiences of all ages. Pirates Voyage. Now, guys, they are doing acrobatics. It's a red team and a blue team of pirates, and they are jumping in the water. They are playing with fire. They are getting all of the guests involved. It is a dinner show. And while you're having dinner and they're serving you great food, they're getting you involved in what they're doing. It is a lot of fun. Your kids, your family is going to enjoy it so much. You don't want to miss the Pirates Voyage. The Alabama Theater, nestled in North Myrtle Beach Barefoot Landing, has been a premier entertainment venue since its inception in 1993 by the renowned country music band Alabama. Celebrated as the #1 live entertainment theater in the area, it offers a diverse array of performances that captivate audiences of all ages. From February through October, the theater showcases its signature variety show, Iconic, a dynamic production featuring a blend of country, pop, rock, and Broadway hits, complemented by state-of-the-art visuals and choreography. As the holiday season approaches, the venue transforms to present the South's grandest Christmas show, a festive extravaganza filled with traditional and contemporary holiday music, dance, and comedy. Throughout the year, the Alabama Theater also hosts an impressive lineup of guest artists, including notable names like Josh Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Jay Leno, ensuring a memorable experience for every visitor. With its commitment to high-quality performances and family-friendly atmosphere, the Alabama Theater remains a must-visit destination for those seeking top-tier entertainment in the Grand Strand region. The House of Blues in North Myrtle Beach, located at Barefoot Landing, is a premier entertainment venue that combines live music, Southern-inspired cuisine, and vibrant atmosphere. Established in 1997, this 59,000-square-foot facility features a 2-level music hall with a standing capacity of 3,500 and seating for 500 people, hosting a variety of concerts and events throughout the year. Now, the venue includes a restaurant and a bar that offers signature dishes like voodoo shrimp and jambalaya, alongside craft cocktails and an extensive beer selection. Additional spaces, such as the deck, provide outdoor seating with live music and happy hour specials. With its unique blend of music, food, and art, the House of Blues offers an unforgettable experience for visitors and locals alike. Now, same thing goes for medieval times. It is a dinner show with knights, and they're fighting, and there's swords, and there's horses, and they are having a blast out there, getting you involved in that, in all that fun. Now, the Skywheel, a major Myrtle Beach landmark up the road. The Boardwalk and Promenade, another major landmark. Tanger Outlets, if you want to shop, that's where you want to go. Market Common. Now, Market Common is a city within a city. Guys, there's upscale shopping, White House Black Market, Southern Living. I mean, you name it, it's there. There's bookstores and movie theaters. They do all kinds of little festivals. Across the street is a $1.3 million playground called Savannah's Playground. You don't want to miss it. It's probably one of the most desirable places in our market to live. Now, Myrtle Beach International Airport, 15 minutes up the road. Let's get into golf. Dunes Golf and Beach Club. You gotta go. It is luxury golf at its finest. You definitely want to check it out. It's right there, oceanfront. Beautiful greens, an excellent place to play golf. Myrtlewood Golf Club, World Tour Golf Links, guys, is going to have holes from some of the best courses around the world. And of course, there's Top Golf. you do not want to miss Top Golf. Guys, there's individual lanes set up to go out, and it's a driving range. You have a blast. There's restaurants. They serve you food, friends, family. It's the kind of thing that you want to do. Get a group of your friends together and go out and hit that driving range. You won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun. Again, only just a few minutes up the road. Okay, so now speaking of oversaturation, we were just talking about how competitive our market is. Now, you would say that Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is a competitive market?
Yeah, it's a competitive market. Well,
Yes and no?
Yeah, yes and no. For the Airbnbs, there's a lot out there, but it's not that it's oversaturated. It's there's a lot of people you can choose from now, and basically, and that's where I focus on making sure my units are nice, and so that way I want to be one of the first ones to get picked.
That's right.
I'm still renting no matter what. It's just, do I want to rent at the top dollar, or do I want to rent at the bottom dollar?
Exactly. And so you're saying that the remodel that you've done on your units, that's what empowers you to be able to ask for the full price, to be top dollar.
Right. And it's not even that ask. It's more like you get chosen earlier, right? You get chosen quicker. You get chosen at the higher prices, because when people are scrolling, it's anything you can do to make that person stop scrolling and say, I want to stay at that unit.
Exactly. So when those when those pictures pop, there's, it's highly contrasted. You got beautiful pinks and teals and, all the right furniture. It's modern. It's great. Obviously, that stops somebody from scrolling. That'll stop them right there in their tracks.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you obviously want to get picked sooner rather than later, and you want to have that you're booked up for the next 30 to 60 days. Isn't that what everybody wants? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what's weird is there was a shift that people aren't booking in advance. They're booking 1 to 2 weeks out now, and a couple years ago, I would be booked 30 to 60 days out. No matter how nice my unit is, I'm not booked 30 to 60 days out.
And it's so funny that you say that. You're the third investor now that I've talked to that's mentioned that very same fact to me. I had a guy, he owns a unit, I think it's a 1-bedroom unit there at the Caribbean, and he said that for the month of July, he only had 1 week booked rental, but everybody else booked last minute, and he was booked every night of the month.
Oh, yeah.
But it was all last minute rentals.
I think with, I think the economy, the unknown, people are waiting to the last minute to say, hey,
I'm going to spend this money.
Yeah, do I want to spend the money? Do I still have my job?
Now, do you think that there's any credence to the whole last minute, catching the last minute person and getting them to pay a premium for it because it's last minute? That whole pricing strategy.
So there's a possible. I think the thing, what makes it hard is a lot of people do basically the waterfall effect. As you get close to the date, they're lowering the price. So now, your competitors have a lower price than the next guy.
Yeah.
So they're lowering it, trying to fill up at the last minute. So people might be getting better deals waiting for the last minute.
So you got to stay competitive.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video,
I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now let's work through your appreciation on these 1-bedroom units at the Holiday Inn Pavilion. Guys, in 2015, if you would have purchased the low-priced unit, you'd have paid $120,000 for it. In 2025, if you would have sold the highest unit That's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. You would have sold for $157,000. That's $37,000 in appreciation over a 10-year period, $3,700 a year. Now, the whole idea here is to buy low and to sell high. Investors buy the cheapest, most dated unit, remodel it, make great gross rental income on it, take the market share of rentals there, and then hold it for 5 to 7 years, let it appreciate. They either do a cash out refinance it at a cheaper interest rate, pull 75% of the value out of it and buy a second oceanfront condo, or they sell it after that 5 to 7 year period for the appreciation and pocket all that appreciation. It's that simple and that easy. So the idea here is to buy low and to sell high. That's how you make money in real estate. Now, you'll notice that it was only $37,000. It wasn't very much money. The smaller oceanfront condos don't make as much appreciation as the larger oceanfront condos. It's that simple and that easy, guys. All right, so how are other units doing here on the market? Well, I pulled some of your top performing units. Unit 602 in 2024 made $45,000. Unit 901 in 2023 made $42,955. Unit 1002 in 2024 made $43,170. That leaves you with an average gross rental income of $43,708. That's a variance of $2,045. In other words, this resort has pretty strong health and reputation. Many of the top performers here are producing around the same amount of gross rental income. So it's, in my opinion, the resort is healthy. It has a strong enough brand for the rents to start to equalize across many of their units or several of their units. So you're not seeing an outlier with one unit that's making like 70 grand and the other unit's making 30 grand and 50 grand, and they're kind of scattered all over the place. You're seeing very close grouping of the gross rental income numbers, which to me signals a strong brand reputation with repeat year-over-year demand, bringing tourists back and equalizing those rents over several units. Totally. But at the same token, if you're just looking purely at the financials, then why would you pay another $100,000, $200,000 to get into an oceanfront condo investment when you can just come to Myrtle Beach and make the same money? Right. Now, I was talking to an investor that told me that, and this is more recent, he was telling me, like, you can't make money in Florida right now. Like, the insurance costs have risen so much that their oceanfront condos are not profitable. You know anything about that?
Well, across the board, everyone's insurances went up.
Yeah, but ours, like Compass Cove went up like $82 a month.
You're right.
Now, I did find there was a place in Barefoot. It wasn't oceanfront. It was called Water's Edge. It went up $470 a month.
Oh, wow.
That hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump. But I'm not seeing that across the board here. Have you experienced that in your condos?
Not that big of jumps, but the insurance definitely went up. They're still profitable with the increase in insurance. But I think Florida's problem is the demand drove the prices higher than the rental income can make.
Support it, yeah.
Right.
They're hitting their ceiling, basically.
Right. For at least, especially in the Destin area, in the Panhandle area, you have a lot of the oil money, and so people are coming from Texas.
Oil money, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so people who are making money in Texas, Alabama, in that area, that's where they're investing, and so they're not looking. A lot of those aren't looking to make a profit. They're looking to, hey, where do I stick my money?
It's a tax haven. Now, what's the secret about concierge services? All right, guys. Well, the point is to have concierge services. I once had a client that was featured in Forbes magazine. She had a unit over at the Sea Mist Resort. She made $33,000 with this unit. It did have a nice jacuzzi jet tub. She offered these packages to her clients, and it drove the gross rental income of the unit up. Basically bathrobes on the bed, rose petals, towel swans, chocolate, a gift for him, a gift for her, vacation packages. And you could do them themed, of course, for people on their honeymoon and stuff like that. It's an excellent offering. You set up a direct booking website. They go right to your website. You have 3 packages, a $500, a $1,000, a $1,500, and they all include more things. And for the convenience of all of it being planned, in other words, you bought tickets, you contacted your cleaning lady, you gave her $100, you had her go and order all this stuff for you. Order tickets to Pirates Voyage for 2, dinner show, order a gift, get a gift card to this restaurant here for two, get tickets to the country music festival, and all the little things, all the little different things that it'd be super simple and super easy that people want to go do in our market. Well, if you go ahead and take care of all of that, you've got it set up in a nice little envelope. It's sitting on the nightstand for them. It's on the counter as soon as they walk in. They've got a concierge experience, and they're going to have an excellent time on their vacation. And they're going to come back, and that's going to build repeat business year over year. And they didn't have to think about it. They didn't have to plan it. You send them an automated email. You signed up for package X. It includes this, 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 and this. We've already got your tickets. We got this. It's going to be on the nightstand for you, blah, 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 blah. Guys, it's simple and easy. And if you do 10 of those at $1,500, we're talking about an extra $15,000 at the end of the year in gross rental income. And all you did was set up a direct booking website, put a web page up, a landing page with 3 different packages, let them choose one, let them process their credit card right there online. You just offered it to them in addition to their rental when they signed up on Airbnb. You told your cleaning lady, hey, here's $100. Go and get all these things for me and leave them in the room for this guest. It's that simple and that easy, guys.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video,
I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, do I buy this property as a second home or do I buy it as an investment property? Well, guys, if you're going to use it, you might want to buy it as a second home. I'd say if you're going to use it 6 months out of the year, buy it as a second home. It's going to give you a cheaper interest rate, a lower down payment, but you can only rent it out 180 days out of the year. Now, if you're in the game to make money and you're not really going to use it, or you're going to use it just a few weekends or a few weeks out of the year, then you probably want to buy it as an investment property. It's going to be at least 20%, most likely 25% down. It's going to have a higher interest rate. The bank knows you're making money. They want to make money with you. And you can rent it out, 365 days a year. So you have no limits on renting it out. Now, if you buy it as a second home, it's got to be at least 75 miles from your primary residence. Additionally, you do have to occupy it at least 3 weeks out of the year. Now, remodeling your unit. Here's what investors do time and time again, guys. I see it all the time. I help investors do it. They use my contractors. It's so simple. It's so easy, and it applies to more than just oceanfront condos. It applies to real estate in general. People buy underperforming assets, properties, fix them up, and sell them. That's a fix and a flip. It's not rocket science. It's very logical. It's very simple. You buy a property that's ran down, you put some money into it, you sell it for more than you bought it for and more than the remodel cost. It's the same principle that you're doing here, except for you're just renting it out first for a few years while you hold it, and then you turn around and sell it. Now, you always want to buy the underperforming asset with the ugly carpet, the horrible countertops, the one that's ran down and looks disgusting. You want to buy that one. You want to put some money into it. I won't say always. If you're using financing and you can find one that's remodeled, it's most likely a smarter move. But for the most part, the strategy is simple. You buy an underperforming asset, you remodel it, and then you rent it out. You design it with all the top-notch design touches of the top 5% Airbnb properties, that are on the market. You make sure that you're better than all the competition. An accent wall with a fireplace and a mantle. You got popping, contrasting colors that catch people's eyes and attention on Airbnb. It has a very modern and a very trendy look. Listen, there's a game that you've got to play when you're attracting guests and rentals. You can't make the property look like whatever your tastes are and expect it to perform like a top 5%. You're catering to the masses. You're catering to a specific demographic, a specific audience. And there are key elements, like you want to have desk in the room for the kids. You want to have a little game station. You know, you want to have a telescope by the balcony to drink wine and watch the stars. You want to advertise all that stuff in your listing. I mean, like, you want to have a coffee station for the mornings when they wake up. I mean, like, there's certain elements to this that really, really work, guys. And if you do it, you make great money. Yvonne, a client of mine, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. I can't stop talking about her. She bought an oceanfront condo for almost $600,000, a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom over at Ocean Reef. She remodeled it. She had it off the market for at least 2.5 months. When she bought the condo, it was making $104,400 in her first 12 months. Remember, she had it off the market for 2.5 months. So that means in less than 12 months, technically, 8.5 months, 9.5 months, whatever. Guess what? She made $140,000 in gross rental income and cleared $30,000 profit. She increased her gross rental income by $36,000 just her first year. She recouped the entire remodel plus some. Was it worth it to remodel the property? Absolutely. Is she already halfway there for a cash out refi? You better believe it. She's already improved the property. Now she's just got to wait a few years and let it appreciate and pull the money out of it, and she can go buy another one. Now, anyways, the point is, the remodels work, guys. The top-notch products perform. It gets you winter rentals during the winter months. It makes you stand out and take market share, and you can charge a whole lot more money for a much larger and nicer condo that is in high demand. It's that simple and that easy. 1031 like-kind exchange, a very, very hot topic and one that many investors are interested in. Yes, you can do them with oceanfront condos. A 1031 exchange, named after Section 1031 of the IRS code, allows real estate investors to defer paying capital gains taxes when they sell an investment property, as long as they reinvest the proceeds into a like-kind property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. The key rules include identifying the replacement property within 45 days and closing on it within 180 days of the sale. Now, this strategy helps investors grow their portfolios more efficiently by deferring taxes and leveraging their equity. But it requires careful planning and the use of a qualified intermediary to handle the transaction. Guys, I have a qualified intermediary for you that I would like to introduce to you to help facilitate your 1031 like-kind exchange. It's that simple and that easy. If you're interested in purchasing properties and you're concerned about capital gains tax, this is a viable strategy that many investors use to build wealth. Get in contact with me. It's 843-360-1737, and I can help you with that 1031 like-kind exchange. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now let's talk through low HOAs versus high HOAs. Let's talk through special assessments and kind of the correlation and how this all plays out. Now, first-time investors generally want a low HOA resort because they feel like it's less risk. I'm going to completely debunk that for you in just a minute. So I had a client ask me, well, how do I avoid getting hit with a bunch of special assessments? And she was basically working through the understanding that when you have an HOA that has a super low fee, most likely they're not setting aside money in reserves. In fact, most likely they're probably not running the business portion of the HOA well. They're not building up a cushion in case things happen and they need to fix it. Now, generally the higher HOAs are at resorts that have healthy businesses, and they are they're collecting, instead of setting aside every month when you pay your HOA dues, they are collecting reserves. Now, those reserves will go to take care of, most likely, items that need to be fixed and are repaired on site. Now, would you rather pay $50 or $100 a month towards the reserves in your HOA payment, maybe even $150 a month? Or would you rather get hit with a $15,000 special assessment? In my opinion, it's smarter to pay it incrementally. It's not such a big blow. It's already accounted for, and they're setting money aside in the reserves so that they don't have to issue you a special assessment. With a lower HOA fee, they're going to issue you special assessments anytime something breaks or needs to be fixed. Is it better to have a low HOA fee and get hit with multiple assessments throughout the year or a few years in a row that eat through your profits, or just to go ahead and invest in a place that has a higher HOA fee that is putting aside money in reserves to take care of those things so that you don't have to have special assessments over and over and over again each and every year? So, in my opinion, it is more risk. In my opinion, it is more risk to purchase a lower tier oceanfront condo at a lower tier resort with lower HOA fees. It is because there's a lot more competition in the lower end of the market. Those smaller units, there's a huge supply of them. They don't appreciate as well, so there's nothing to really carry you through on the back. If you have a lean year or you get a bunch of special assessments or something hits you, there's nothing really to carry you through if you don't make a lot of profits on the smaller oceanfront condos, as opposed to the larger oceanfront condos that appreciate much better, and they can carry you through some of those lean years. Over the lifetime of the investment, you are still okay if you have a few years where you only make $5,000 profit, $10,000 profit, whatever, on those larger oceanfront condos, $15,000 profit on those leaner years, because they appreciate so well on the back end. It carries you through. You don't have that cushion with a smaller oceanfront condo. I ran numbers, I think it was over at the Dunes Village, on a guy, he was selling his condo. If he would have sold it as asking price, we're looking at $54,000 in appreciation while he owned that condo a year. That's substantial appreciation. As where the smaller oceanfront condos don't appreciate nearly as well, you'd be lucky to get $100,000. Or you'd be doing well at $100,000 appreciation for owning it 7, 8, 9, 10 years, versus owning a larger oceanfront condo for 10 years and you're getting $300,000 in appreciation. So there's a lot more cushion in the appreciation aspect of it that's going to carry you overall. If you look at everything, annual profits, and appreciation combined, if you look at both, there's a lot more cushion in those larger oceanfront condos. So, thinking through risk, people at low tier or resorts that are afraid of high HOA fees, and they think they justify it in their mind going, I'm taking less risk by buying something that's cheaper because it's less money out of pocket that I have to spend. Technically, they're positioning themselves to have the highest amount of competition, to have the lowest amount of hedge and appreciation, and to get hit with lots of special assessments. Because their HOA is not setting money aside in the reserve account. Now, you tell me what sense that makes, buying a low-tier oceanfront condo with a low HOA fee, all because you're afraid to take on more risk. You're technically taking on more risk. All right, so if you have a 401k and you have retirement funds, but not enough to live off of, which many Americans are in that boat, because a 401k was never designed for you to retire off of. It was an account for executives to be able to stash away some extra cash, and it got turned into a quote-unquote retirement account. But there's generally, unless you have a ridiculous amount of money in that 401k, it's not going to be enough money for you to retire on. This is where Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos, real estate investing, comes into play. Because you've got money in your account that you can be putting in hard assets that generate great annual profits, that appreciate, and that give you tax write-offs. And that's going to happen a lot faster than what you can do in the stock market. Now, or even with bonds, or even with long-term rentals. Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos are one of the best investments in the market. Now, 401k non-recourse loans. A non-recourse loan against a 401k is used when purchasing real estate within the 401k itself, typically through a self-directed solo 401k plan. In this setup, the 401k account, not the individual, purchases the property, not the individual, not the person, but the 401k purchases the property. And a non-recourse loan is used because IRS rules prohibit personal guarantees on 401k owned investments. Now, a non-recourse loan means the lender can only seize the property if there's a default. They cannot go after the investor's personal assets or the rest of the 401k funds. Now, this allows investors to leverage their retirement funds to buy real estate while keeping the investment compliant with IRS rules. However, only the 401k benefits from the investment returns. The annual profits you're making, you can't touch. It's got to go back into the 401k. It can't go into your personal account. And strict rules around prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. Guys, I just helped a client purchase an oceanfront condo at Dunes Village, a place that is infamous for gross rental income in our market, with a 401k non-recourse loan. It's a very smart move, guys, and you should get started now building that nest egg up. Absolutely. If you do not have enough money to retire on because you're planning on living longer, because your lifestyle demands it, then you need to get in contact with me so that I can get you in contact, and you have a 401k, of course, so that I can get you in contact with a qualified person that can do a 401k non-recourse loan for you. My cell phone's 843-360-1737. Give me a call and let me help you out. Those retirement years could be a whole lot better, and you could be living in a lot more comfort if you had that extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in profit coming in passively from an asset like an oceanfront condo. Now, guys, lots of people are concerned about HOAs. HOAs protect the appreciation aspect of your investment. You know, ultimately, the HOA consists of people that own at that particular resort, and they don't want to pay any of those high HOA fees or any more fees than they have to pay. However, they have enough sense to know that if they don't maintain the property and take care of it well, that the property is going to lose value, and the tourists are not going to continue to rent that property any longer. If that happens, the money that you're counting on in appreciation at the end of the investment when you go to sell it is gone. And that's what you don't want. The appreciation is an excellent builder of wealth. Additionally, it serves as a hedge in case you don't do as well renting your property out. Now, of course, I don't want that for you. I don't expect that for you. If you follow the channel, then you're learning all the things to do. If we've had a few conversations, I'm telling you what to do. So HOAs protect the investment. They protect that appreciation aspect of your property, and when you go to resell it, you're going to be really happy that you had an HOA. Now, investors often are concerned about higher HOA fees. Well, most of the time, the best resorts have the highest HOA fees. They have higher HOA fees. You do not let the HOA fee determine where you invest your money. You let the upside, you let the gross rental income, you follow the money, you follow the cash. It's horrible to allow fear of not having enough and you're not going to be able to make the payment, you're afraid the HOA is too high, to be the determinant as to where you invest. You know, not everybody is successful at investing. A lot of people think that way. Fear is what's driving their decision. Fear is not a smart investment strategy. I wouldn't let it be in the driver's seat if I was you. And you can't. You got to look at the units that are top performing, and you've got to go to those resorts. You got to check out the inventory and the products that are currently on the market, and you've got to invest where you've got upside and potential, where you can make money, because the whole point of this is to make money. You don't invest in a place with a low HOA fee at a low tier resort that doesn't have a really strong brand name. A lot of people don't know about it, and hardly anyone wants to rent there. In my opinion, it's just not a smart strategy. Why would you cap yourself at a place, let's say, that has units, they're making $30,000 a year gross income, when you could be at a place that's making $90,000 or $100,000 a year, and you're putting $30,000 a year in profit in your pocket, all because you weren't intimidated by an HOA fee. And by the way, the tourists that rent the condo pay the fees. And if you're doing it well, and you've watched the interview with Matt Freeze, at least one of them, he plainly said that he owns, at the time I interviewed him, he owned 11 oceanfront condos. Guys, he plainly says June, July, and August, he makes enough money on his condos to pay all the bills for the whole year. So what are you worried about? What are you afraid about? Don't let that HOA fee intimidate you and stop you. Invest where you can make money and build wealth. It requires risk to build wealth. That's how it works. Let's talk about doing a cash out refi. Guys, the real estate strategy using a cash out refinance involves pulling equity from your first investment property after it has appreciated in value or you've paid down the mortgage, and using those funds as a down payment for your next property. Now here's how it works. You buy your first property, you improve it or hold it over time, and once it gains enough equity, you refinance it for more than you currently owe. You take the difference in cash, tax deferred, and use it to buy your second property. You repeat the process, improve, refinance, reinvest, and you create a snowball effect of portfolio growth without needing to come up with new capital for each deal. Now this method lets investors scale rapidly, but it requires good credit. Strategic property selection, that's where I come in, and you gotta get the property selection right, because if not, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you're stifling that snowball effect. If you don't get this one right and it doesn't have solid financials, you might not get approval for the next condo or the cash out refi. Or anyways, the point is you want to make sure you get the right property. Now, strong cash flow is going to be important, and discipline to avoid over leveraging. You do not want to over leverage. So guys, it's very simple and very easy. Lots of people buy oceanfront condos using a cash out refi, either on their primary residence. They'll pull, a few $100,000 out of their home. Of course, their mortgage goes up a little bit, $1,100, $1,200, depending upon how much money they pull out. And they purchase an oceanfront condo, or they do a cash out refi on the oceanfront condo that they bought their first one. It's that simple and that easy. It does create a snowball effect. Once you buy a property, improve it, and it appreciates, and you've paid down that mortgage, of course you're going to pull that cash out and buy another oceanfront condo. Well, you wait 3 or 4 more years, now you've got 2 oceanfront condos that you can employ this same strategy with. You do it to both of them, now you bought 2 more and you have 4 oceanfront condos. Well, yes, you can do it again. 4 more years goes by, you improve properties, you pay out all those profits you're making on the oceanfront condo rentals into the mortgage, and guess what you do? You buy 4 now. Now you got 8 oceanfront condos. So it creates a snowball effect, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that nest egg, allowing you to really build some substantial wealth over time. It's a very viable strategy. If you're interested in learning more about it, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for, and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's work through a cash scenario purchase right here at the Holiday Inn Pavilion in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. The purchase price is $159,900. Now, your gross rental income for this unit was $43,708. Yes, I did find a 1-bedroom unit that made $43,708. Your Airbnb platform fee is 3% of the gross rental income that you make on the unit. That was a total of $1,311.25. If you take that $1,311.25 from the $43,708 that you brought in on the unit, you are left with a subtotal of $42,397.08. Now, property taxes in 2024 were $3,880.80. Now, that's for the year, not for the month. Some people ask if that's monthly. No, it's not monthly. Now, your excise tax It's for your use in police department and fire department. It is $391 for the year, $391. It's a $145 base fee for the first $2,000 you make in gross rental income. Then it is $6 for every $1,000 you make after that. Your HO6 insurance is $1,000. Again, that's going to cover, you're going to make sure you get a policy that covers lost gross rental income. In case your resort does construction during those winter months, you still want to be able to collect your rental income if your unit is shut down. That's stud to stud in the interior. Your HOA fee covers exterior insurance, a little bit different. Your local hospitality and accommodations tax is total of 3% of the gross rental income you make on the unit. That's 1.5% to the city of Myrtle Beach, 1.5% to Horry County. Don't worry, when you close on these, the city will mail you some paperwork to fill out so you can get your business license. You do have to have a business license to own and operate a short-term vacation rental business in our market. Your annualized HOA dues were $15,960. That's the total amount of your HOA fee for the year. That brings you to an operating expense subtotal of $22,543.05. If you take that $22,000 from the $42,000 up top, you are left with a projected profitability of as much as $19,854.03. Now, I did not include your cleaning fees. They're going to pass through to your guest. Typical cleaning fees on a one-bedroom is about $120 per cleaning. You're going to obviously work that out with your cleaning lady, but you're going to charge your guest $150. You're paying her $120, and you're pocketing that $30 difference. It actually is a place where you can turn a profit. Now, your personal property taxes, they're going to be between $500 and $600. When you own an investment property in South Carolina, you do have to pay personal property taxes on your furnishings. And then, of course, HO6 insurance is not included in the HOA fee. It can be included sometimes, but it's not here at the Holiday Inn. Pavilion, your electricity, your internet, and your pest control is going to be included in those HOA dues. Now, that's a cash-on-cash return, guys, of 12%. You're putting in $159,900 and you're getting out right at $20,000. Where can you put $159,000 and then within 1 year walk away with almost 20 grand? Well, unless you're a stock market wizard, you could probably do it in the stock market if that's your full-time day job. But most of you, that's not going to be your full-time day job. You can't do it in commercial. I mean, you can do it in commercial, but the price point's a lot higher. You can't do it with long-term rental properties. It just doesn't work. The math's not there. There's not the upside. You can do it in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. Now let's work through a financing scenario purchase right here at the Holiday Inn Pavilion for a one-bedroom, one-bathroom oceanfront condo. That purchase price was $159,900. Your down payment is going to be 25% of the purchase price. That's $39,975. Your gross rental income was $43,708.33. Your Airbnb platform fee was 3% of your gross rental income at $1,311.25. If you take that $1,300 from the $43,000 you made, you are left with a subtotal of $42,397.08. Your principal and interest on this loan came up to $9,552 for the year. That does assume a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at a 7% interest rate. Your property taxes in 2024 were $3,880.80. They can be more, they can be less. It depends on the purchase price of the property. If the last time they bought this property, they paid more for it than what you're paying for it now, most likely your taxes will go down. If you're paying more than they paid for it last time when they bought it, most likely your property taxes are going to go up. Now, excise tax, $391. HO6 insurance, $1,000. Local hospitality and accommodations tax, it's 3% of your gross rental income, $1,311.25. Your annualized HOA dues came out to $15,960, bringing you to an operating expense subtotal of $32,095.05. Guys, if you take that $32,000 from that $42,000 up top, you are still left with a projected profitability of $10,302.03. Guys, interest rates always are subject to change. You might be wondering now, why would the cash-on-cash return be 26%? When using the all-cash scenario, it was only 12%. Well, you've only got $39,000 into this deal. You're only paying that 25% down. So that causes your cash-on-cash return to be higher. It's positive leverage. If you do all cash, you've got a whole lot more money in the deal. It takes a whole lot more money to get that cash-on-cash return up. You tell me where you can put $40,000 and walk away with 10 grand using the bank's money. I know where. Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condo. All right, so let's work through your depreciation on this unit. Your purchase price was $159,900. The IRS says that a real estate has a useful life. Residential real estate has a useful life of 27.5 years. So essentially, we're going to take our purchase price, we're going to divide it by 27.5, and we have a taxable income deduction to the tune of $5,814.55 per year. So in other words, you can write off $5,000, almost $6,000 a year in income that you're making that you're not going to have to pay taxes on. Now, they let you do this for depreciation, which is also known as wear and tear, and economic obsolescence. Newer products, newer buildings hit the market, meaning the older ones have less value, so they let you depreciate the property. You can do something called a cost segregation study. Essentially, it's where you accelerate depreciation and write off as much as $40,000 or $50,000 in a year. It can be very advantageous for a high-income earner or small business owner that perhaps has a really great year. It can be an excellent tax write-off for you. I have a client, Yvonne, who bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. She did a cost segregation study on it her first year owning it and operating it. She received a $34,000 tax refund. Yes, cost segregation studies are the way to go. You need a CPA that specializes in doing them. If you need one, you can use my CPA. My phone number is 843-360-1737. I'll be more than happy to make that introduction for you. Now, you're probably wanting to know, what are the top 5 oceanfront condo resorts in Myrtle Beach, or in the market period? Well, in the market period. I found one at Sea Marsh last year. The place only has one pool. It's not like a super nice place, but the guy had the right design elements on the unit. He made $90,000 in gross rental income on his unit. In my estimation, he cleared $24,000 profit. He's just got a well-designed unit, you know, and the place is standard. It doesn't have major amenities, doesn't have crazy draws. It's got an $847 a month HOA, a low HOA, but guess what? He crushed it because of the design element on the unit. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Nothing special, nothing hidden. Sea Marsh, it's up there. Ocean Reef, Yvonne, she's up there. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Caribbean, 1-bedroom, made $72,000 in gross rental income. Let me see here. Dunes Village, by far, absolutely. The majority of their units consistently outperform the rest of the market. Their ocean view units perform better than probably most oceanfront units elsewhere because they have an indoor water park and you can rent the unit out 12 months out of the year due to that indoor water park. It is a sustainable competitive advantage. Dunes Village continues to be one of the top performers in the market. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom that made $103,000 over there. Definitely killing it. I found a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It's under contract now. Made $124,000. I mean, like, Dunes Village, definitely. Finally, I'd say Oceans One or Resort. I found a unit over there, a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom that made $109,000. Yes, Oceans One over in the south end of the beach. I know a lot of investors are skeptical about it, but guys, people are making money there to the tune of $109,000. We're talking, you know, $29,000 profit. So that's my top 5. If you want to know more, get in contact with me, have a conversation with me, call me, guys. I really enjoy hearing from you guys. It's 843-360-1737. Send me a text message, shoot me an email, jump on a live Zoom call with me, ask me your questions, and let's get you somewhere into this investing game that you really want to be in, building wealth and securing a great future for you and your family. Now, the biggest thing I see holding people back when it comes to investing in oceanfront condos, it's fear. That's what's holding people back. Whenever I interview investors and I ask them if they could do something different, they pretty much always say they wish they would have started sooner. They wish they would have started earlier. Guys, don't wait 2 years and think about this and have to mull it over and have to try to figure it out on your own. Pick up the phone and give me a call and let me help you work through the hurdles and answer your questions so I can take you from reading blogs and watching YouTube videos to there in like 2.5 seconds. It's that simple and that easy. I had a client once who was looking at buying a condo pre-COVID. He didn't buy the condo, came back, I want to say maybe a year later after COVID, and paid $100,000 more for the same exact unit. he's kicking himself probably because he lost out on $100,000. Don't let that story be your story. Pick up the phone, stop being afraid, get bold, and build a future for you and your family. 843-360-1737.